Hello and welcome to a special one-off edition of Hill Climb Diaries, which is all about what we like to get up to during the UK's hill climb season. If you've never seen these videos before, check the link in the video description for a full playlist. They are honestly some of the best videos we've ever made, and you do not want to miss them. Today, socially distant Felix and I will be taking on the Bristol South's Burrington Coombe hill climb. It's a 3.2 kilometre long course, and though it's not the steepest one out there, it's got some really nasty, steep ramps at the end, which I have no doubt will feel terrible. And today we're riding on two very different bikes. Myself on my State Undefeated hill climb bike, and Felix on something altogether more special. Now, before we crack on and reveal what Felix's saucy, scintillating bike is, it would be remiss of me not to remind you to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon. So every time we upload a video like this, you'll get a notification.
It's been a strange year this year for many reasons, but for me, I've been battling a knee injury, which has been impacting my training somewhat. So this year I have a bit of a secret weapon in the form of the Specialized Aethos. But is this bike going to actually give me the advantage I need to beat last year's time, which was 9 minutes and 43 seconds?
I have no doubt you'll smash it, Felix.
We'll see, we'll see.
Okay, young Felix, I want to know two things. One, how much does it weigh? And two, how much does it cost?
It weighs 6.1 kilograms without pedals, and it costs roughly £10,000.
Wow, that's a real bargain for the most cutting edge of tech.
Specialized created this bike not to be raced, but actually just for the pure love of riding. So today I'm actually going to be racing it, which is kind of going against the ethos of this bike. To go with that gorgeous lightweight frame set, we've got a full Dura-Ace Di2 group set and some really nice Roval Alpinist kit. I've never ridden with a power meter before. This one's got one, so I'll be interested to see how mediocre my power numbers are.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Felix. I'm expecting at least 900 watts from those pins.
I have actually ridden this bike up one of my local climbs, and I got 30 seconds off my personal record, and I am not in great shape, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one tackles the climb today. That's enough about this bike. If you want to know more about the bike, check out the video description. But now we're going to go over to Jack's bike, which is a very different build indeed. Now, unlike Felix, I'm actually a man of the people, and I'm riding the exact same bike I've ridden for about 4 seasons now, and that is my State Undefeated fixed gear. Now, I've actually done a full video on this bike previously, but to give you a little rundown on it, this weighs at last count around 5.4 kilos without pedals. Wait, that's lighter than mine.
Well, I guess I'm just going to win. The only thing that slightly scares me about this bike are the tyres. Now, these are 22mm wide tubular tyres, which, if you know your modern road bike tech, is not very wide. To add insult to injury, these are the exact same tyres that Joe raced way back in 2016. And they're definitely showing their wear, so I've put a little squirt of stand sealant in both tyres, so fingers crossed, no punctures. The cafe at the bottom of the Coombe has just opened, which is incredible news because the public toilets are closed and I really need the toilet. What number are you, Felix?
I can't remember what number I am actually.
Well, I'm 68, so you're less than that.
Yeah, I'm sort of going off quite early on, not quite up there with the big hitters.
Thank you
very much.
On then.
Get these on.
How are we going to get these on? I don't have any pins.
You don't have any pins?
No. Do you?
I got 3.
Oh, shit. I begged, I borrowed. Once again, the hill climb community comes through to save my bacon at the last minute. I rode these through the mud a minute ago, and I don't really want that to give me a puncture on these already worn tyres, so... Ready to warm up, GoPro'd up, smash up and down a little bit. The road closes pretty soon because the event's actually off, so we're going to be off pretty soon, but yeah, I'm ready to get going. In fact, that's number 2, off now.
power.
Yeah.
I've never ridden with power before. I feel like I've got a bit of pressure on me, but I'm genuinely excited to see how it rides. I've ridden it a little bit, but not a huge amount. In fact, I've had a huge amount on DI too, so hope I don't mess that up.
A nice mischief halfway up to your feet to really mess your mind.
It's quite cold, we need to warm up. In fact, I've got about 20 minutes until I start, so catch you in a bit.
For any kind of effort like this, because it's so short, it's really important you have like a thorough warm-up regime with, you know, get the heart rate up, get some blood through the legs, all that sort of stuff, especially on a cold morning like this. So Felix, how long have you got to your race and how are you going to warm up?
It's 9:48. I set off at 10:03. I'm going to stick it in the big ring and give it some beans for a few minutes.
Very thorough, very well done. I've got till 10:38. I've been lucky, I'm seated later than him, so I've got a bit more time to warm up, but I don't think that's really going to change either of our fortunes today, Felix, is it?
No, I'm hoping this bike is going to give me everything I need. Bit of warming up, how do you feel, Jack?
Oh, terrible. Cold legs, leaden legs, but, you know, whatever. We'll just see how it goes. How do you feel in your bike?
Oh, bike feels amazing, but yeah, I'm feeling a bit dehydrated actually.
Well, I'm sure that'll really come into play on this 9-minute climb.
Yeah, 9 minutes, oh god.
Though neither of us take it particularly seriously, I can tell Felix is a massive nerves right now, and I feel terrible that he's got so little time to warm up, but it just makes for a funny video. There he is. Young Fee ready to go. He's gonna smash it, no doubt. He has to go fast though, given how expensive his bike is. If he doesn't, well. Go on, dig in, dig in! Go strong!
Oh, that was horrible. Oh. I definitely went faster than last year. Definitely went faster. I didn't quite finish my Garmin in time there at the top, so I don't really know how much by that. It definitely felt faster.
Friend of BikeRadar, Rich Bennett, how are you feeling?
Bit nervous. Like this is the 8th one I've done this year.
8?
So, yeah, it's the novelty's wearing off. I'm quite pleased it's the last one.
Well, go strong. I'm sure you'll smash it. Now, if you really want to be serious about your hill climbs, the thing you must have is a power meter, really, because it helps you temper your effort and make sure you're not going too hard. You can ride at a power you know. But the simple answer is I don't have one for this bike, so I've been riding with heart rate, which gives you some insight into how you're doing and how you're performing. So in this kind of race, because it is long enough, I will be able to get my heart rate up fairly quickly and then kind of make sure I'm not going too deep right at the very bottom. It's nowhere near as insightful as power, but it gives me something to work off of. And given I had a pizza, some beer and a little bit of whiskey last night, I have a feeling I won't be getting up quite as high as usual. Nonetheless, that's what I'll be running on my data screen. Speed and heart rate, that's it alone.
Come on, Rich, keep pushing!
Off in a minute, feeling very, very anxious.
How did you get on?
Oh, that was really hard.
Yeah.
It just went on and on and on, and the headwind was just enough to make it too hard with the gear. So I was seated, standing, seated, standing. It's because I went too fast. So young Felix, we're back home after our momentous weekend, our 8 minutes of racing over and done with. How are you feeling? Regardless of the numbers, regardless of your placing, did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun, yeah. Who thought that absolutely beasting yourself could be that much fun? Yeah, it was really interesting to see how this new ultra lightweight bike would feel.
Did the Aethos feel much better, and also did any improvement in feel add up to results?
Well, the results actually were quite interesting. I was 30 seconds quicker this year. 30 seconds, yeah. So, can you do less training and do better on a 10 grand bike? Well, yeah. I proved you can do that.
So, in terms of the numbers, give us a rundown. You mentioned this was one of your first times riding with a power meter. What did it add up to on the day?
Well, I did 292 watts average over the race. Obviously, I don't have any other numbers to look back on. I have no history, so that kind of doesn't really mean that much to me. But you can see in the data the moment when I didn't clip in properly because I had a piece of gravel in my cleat. You can see it shoots right down to 0 and then right back up to about 640 watts or something.
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, impressive power numbers. And time aside, how did the bike feel, Felix?
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a lot of hype about the bike. It's a very sort of bold kind of bike to make, I suppose. It actually felt very much like a race bike. It has the same geometry as a Tarmac SL7. It's just that like instant feedback that you get from putting down the power or changing gradient. It's very quick to kind of act upon your instincts.
A little less squashy compared to your comfortable gravel bikes, one might say.
Yeah, it's considerably less like an armchair for me. Now that I've wowed everyone with my numbers, what about you, Jack? How did you get on this year?
Well, I'm a bit more analog than Felix, and on my State I don't have a power meter, but I was riding with a heart rate monitor, and that's actually been something I've been doing more of this season. I've never really ridden with heart rate monitors much before now, but I've been learning to how to use them essentially for my training, which is probably worth another video. But for hill climb racing, so long as you can get your heart rate up high enough before the start of the race and you're kind of warmed up well enough, and I have to say, waiting on the start line, I was weirdly anxious for the race on Sunday. You know, they're always quite full on and stressful. They're very all consuming. And so I had a nice high heart rate for kicking off. And I started off at round roughly 154 and averaged about 181 for the race, according to my data. And that's kind of roughly what I've been doing for similar efforts. So it was nice to be able to pace it. And it is a long enough race that you can look at your heart rate data and get something meaningful from it. But I did max out right at the very end at 187 BPM. I thought I was going to die when I was doing that. But in terms of numbers for the day, according to the timekeepers, I did 8 minutes and 45 seconds, which is actually a full minute faster than I was last year, or just under a full minute. I'm not 100% sure that was the right number last year. I think there might have been a bit of a timing error, but it is definitely one of my fastest times up there. Previously, I've done 8:46, so only a second faster than that. And way back when we had a storming tailwind in 2017, I did an 8:22. So, you know, it's kind of equivalent for where I normally am. Our friend Rich, who the previous week I had beat by 0.3 seconds, he took the stand this week and beat me by 1.3 seconds, which really hurt. So I was thinking of all those little places I could have made up 1.3 seconds.
Well done, Rich. You won the GC there.
One of the more memorable numbers, though, from the day is looking at the standings. Joe Norledge, now a father, no longer a hill climb alumni, was only 15 seconds faster than me, which is still a great deal over, you know, an 8 and a bit minute course. But it's definitely the closest I've ever been to Joe at a hill climb. So hopefully next year, maybe I'll beat him. The overall men's winner for the day was Carl Jolly, who came in at 7 minutes and 11 seconds, and that is a very quick time for the day. And then in the women's category, it was Natalie Grinser of Cams Tifosi, and I'm so sorry I forgot your name wrong, but she came through in 8 minutes and 28 seconds. Again, super fast time, and great to see a really big women's field on the day. And also, a big shout out to Bristol South, which is Felix and I, our adopted club. But you know, it was great to see them organising such a safe, fun and equal event across all disciplines. Equal prize money, great participation across all categories, and a great day out. Now by the time this episode comes out, the Nationals, which are the culmination of the whole season, will have been and gone, and we've got a photographer actually going to the event, and you can get the full scoop for that in the link in the video description, where you're going to get to see some really cool tech from that event.
We hope that you've enjoyed this one-off episode of Hill Climb Diaries. Obviously, we would have loved to have made more, but as it was, we were quite lucky to just get the one done. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon, so every time we upload a video, you get a notification.
Bye!
Bye!